Your roof is running a heat scam on you every single day, and the fix costs less than your morning coffee run. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll never look at a hardware store the same way again. Most homeowners think their AC is fighting the weather. It isn't. It's fighting your roof. That dark shingle layer sitting above your ceiling can hit temperatures over 150 degrees on a sunny afternoon, turning your attic into an oven that slowly bakes your living space from above. So you crank the thermostat, the compressor kicks on, your electric bill climbs past $200 in summer, and within a few years, that unit needs servicing or replacing anyway. You're not cooling your house. You're running an expensive tug-of-war against your own roof, and the roof usually wins. Here's the part most people never connect. The heat pouring into your attic isn't mostly coming from hot air outside. It's radiant energy, sunlight hitting that dark surface and converting straight into heat that radiates downward into your home. Standard insulation barely touches this kind of heat transfer. It's designed for a different problem entirely, so you can have a perfectly insulated attic and still be cooking, because insulation was never built to stop radiant heat in the first place. There's an old trick that pops up across very different cultures and climates, and it has nothing to do with electricity. Coating a roof or exterior surface with a simple reflective lime-based wash, mix hydrated lime with water, paint it on, let it dry. That's it. No chemicals, no machinery, just a mineral that's been mined and used for thousands of years. Centuries later, researchers studying urban heat islands found the exact same principle at work. Light, reflective surfaces bounce solar radiation back into the sky instead of absorbing it. In the 1970s, building scientists ran side-by-side comparisons of dark versus reflective roof coatings and found surface temperature differences of 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit between the two. That's not a marginal improvement. That's the difference between an attic that's livable and one that isn't. The science here is surprisingly simple. Dark colors absorb almost all wavelengths of visible and infrared light and convert that energy into heat. Light, reflective surfaces bounce most of that energy away before it ever becomes heat. Now scale that up to 1,000 square feet of roofing material, and you start to understand why a simple color and surface choice can swing your indoor temperature by double digits. So why doesn't every roofing company lead with this? Mostly because the economics of the industry favor selling you systems, not substances. A central air unit, a full reinstallation, an annual maintenance contract, these are recurring revenue streams. A bag of hydrated lime that costs under $15 and lasts a couple of years doesn't fit into that business model. It's not that anyone's hiding a secret in a vault somewhere. It's just that the loudest voices in home improvement are the ones with something expensive to sell you. Cheap, durable, low-maintenance solutions tend to get drowned out simply because there's no margin in repeating them. You can see this principle already at work in places that take energy costs seriously. Commercial buildings in hot climates increasingly use reflective roof coatings specifically to cut cooling costs, and some municipalities have started adjusting building codes to encourage lighter roofing materials in new construction. Warehouses, in particular, often use white or reflective membrane roofing for exactly this reason, because for a business owner, every degree of reduced cooling load translates directly into lower operating costs month after month. Now, here's how you can actually apply this at home. First, check your local codes and your homeowners association rules if you have one, because exterior color changes sometimes require approval. Once you're clear, pick up Type S hydrated lime from a hardware store or masonry supplier. Mix it with water at roughly a 1-to-2 ratio, lime to water, until you get a consistency similar to thin paint, not thick paste. Stir thoroughly until smooth. Apply it with a roller or wide brush on a dry, mild day, ideally avoiding direct midday heat so it doesn't dry too fast and crack. One coat first, let it dry fully for about a day, then apply a second coat for better coverage. For a typical roof section, total material cost usually lands somewhere between $15 and $30, depending on size. A few honest caveats here. This works best on roofs and surfaces where a lighter color is appropriate and won't clash with your home's design or local aesthetic standards. Lime wash isn't permanent. Weather and UV exposure will fade it over a couple of years, so it's something you'll reapply periodically, similar to repainting a fence. It also performs best as part of a broader approach. Things like attic ventilation and radiant barriers can complement it for even better results. And always wear gloves and eye protection when working with lime, since it's caustic before it cures. What strikes me most about this isn't just the dollar savings, though those add up fast. It's the reminder that some of the most effective fixes in life aren't complicated or expensive. They're just unfashionable. We've been conditioned to believe that bigger problems need bigger, costlier solutions, when sometimes the answer has been sitting on a hardware store shelf the whole time, quietly outperforming systems that cost 100 times more. The real skill isn't finding some hidden secret, it's learning to recognize when the simple option was right in front of you all along. That's the kind of thinking this channel, Hidden Fix Lab, is built around. Questioning the default, testing what actually works, and making smarter choices about the home you live in every single day.